The majority of US stocks are not trading on lit exchanges anymore, and in fact are all trading in dark pool, aka alternative trading systems. These systems do not affect price action, and you're seeing several factors of low liquidity in the market. As the SPY got a massive sell-off yesterday overnight, the fear and greed index is still sitting neutral and on the line of fear as the market begins to rebound, which is just one signal that there could be a lot more downside. Now, we did see the VIX, which is the volatility index for the S&P 500, rise up over 30%, currently up 12% still, as there are a lot of economic factors that remain uncertain, and we're going to talk about them. All I ask you to do, like the video, subscribe to the channel, watch the video until the end, and turn post notifications on. Also drop a comment what number like you are. SPY is trading at 597.22. We come and we take a look at the 1 minute time frame. Early in the morning we got rejected at 594, which is a level that we called out in Discord, 594.25 or so. We then bounced off of support around 590.50, came all the way up to the next resistance at 597.75, tried to build a base here and are failing at the moment. I think a lot of people were waiting, myself included, for a test of 600, but where is the SPY going to go? That is what is important. Well, I decided to take back a look at Roaring Kitty's tweet just for fun, where it says January 2nd, 2000. Not that this has any correlation, so just take that with a grain of salt. But the point being is, back during this time frame, back during these market corrections, you really can't make this up. Every single highlighted market correction that you see on the chart right now was from late January coming into mid-February. Market dropped 4.78%, 7.57, 5.72, 10.73, 22%, 8.63, 15.49, 6.87, 4.41, 6.74, 15%, 9%. The list goes on and on and on. So it's historically not a good setup for the market. On top of that, you overlay a crash, a similar crash, and multiple setups, you see something very, very similar, where we had a top, we retested the top and made a slightly higher high, gap down, came higher, gap down. Where are we going to go from here? Well, there's a couple things that I want to note. First of all, with the SPY. The SPY has only dropped 3.37% from its high to where we're trading at right now. Although it did get a nicer correction back here, I believe around 5 to 6%. Let's talk about the factors that are coming out later today. Donald Trump said he is going to speak with Justin Trudeau at 3 p.m. ET today. Okay, he did speak with him once, but now he's going to speak with him a second time. Now, why is this important? Well, according to the news outlets and the news articles, investors are panicking because of the quote-unquote tariffs, which obviously, if you've been watching the channel, is not the case. The Japanese carry trade is unwinding. You see that right here on this date, this first green line, January 24th, 2025. Next day, nice red candle, followed by a huge gap down. And what happened on that gap down? That was blamed on DeepSeek. Then the news of the overreaction of DeepSeek and all this other stuff brought Nvidia up, brought the market up, got a relief rally back to the highs, and all of a sudden Friday and into over the weekend, there's this talks about tariffs, which we already expected and anticipated. Investors, at least, they obviously knew this. Overreacted, dumped the market, apparently, right? No, there's underlying factors behind the scenes. Take a look at the DXY, got a massive spike yesterday. This is also very similar to when AMC and Gamestop rallied. They hit their highs January 28th of 2021. DXY rallied off of its lows. Same thing, January 28th, 2022. DXY rallied off its lows to the 28th, making this peak. The JPY index, Japanese currency, built out this flag, broke out of the flag after the meeting that they had, okay? Gold, all-time highs recently. But what's happening on the flip side with cryptocurrency? 1 second, we're going to get into that. Mexico has said that they will put the retaliatory tariffs on the US on hold for now. They said they're going to hold it for about a month. And why would they do this? Well, they're shitting bricks. The Mexican peso fell more than 2% after these tariff announcements, showing a lot of strength that the US had. But Mexico is not only saying they're going to put the tariffs on the side, they're also going to deploy 10,000 National Guard soldiers immediately on the border with the USA to stop drug trafficking. They are at 100% compliance with Donald Trump at this point because they see how much power the US has, leading us into potential compliance with Canada, although Trudeau seems like he's on the fence. Okay, okay, where's the market going to go? What's going to happen with AMC and GameStop? I know I've been blabbling on, trying to catch everyone up in case they're not caught up already. The SPY got a gap fill back up to this level that it gapped down from. Perfect gap fill. There are some key levels to watch. First of all, if the SPY at any point doesn't hold 580 or 579, right, this range down here, we could see a massive sell-off and a further crash, which would lead us down, first of all, to the 563 to 555 range, but ultimately down to the 523 range. And keep in mind, that's a very likely sell-off that could easily happen, as that would only bring the SPY down about 14%, which we've seen those major corrections that I pointed out to you guys. The SPY was down 22%, 15%, 15% again a couple of times, right? Later today, if Trump and Canada come to an agreement that is healthy for the market, you're going to see a rip and rally after hours, likely to come up and retest 604.50 once again, or at least 602.50, okay? 602.50 to 604.50. At that point, I'd see a potential opportunity to short the market even more for about a month out, but there's no confirmation for anything there just yet. Levels to watch are those for an upside case scenario, and if we get any negative news, watch for a retest on 590 to see if we hold. GameStop's trading at 26.25, down 2.4%. I said yesterday, if you didn't watch the video, I said be ready, hold your breath if you're in AMC and GameStop, because it's not going to squeeze tomorrow. It's likely going to open up very, very red. It opened up about 6% to the downside, and I seen that as a very good dip buying opportunity down to about $25.30. $25.40, right? The fact that they didn't push it down more surprises me, but that's not to say if the market crashes, this won't go down more. Very, very briefly, I see systemic risk right here, and there's a lot of excuses that they're throwing out when the market decides that it wants to flash crash. Everything is predicted. It's built on an algorithm. All these institutions are trading on alternative trading systems. There's low liquidity in the market, and when there's low liquidity and we see a flash down like this, it could trigger major systematic risk, which is good for AMC and GameStop. AMC actually held up a lot better than a ton of other plays, and I want to talk about some earnings plays towards the end of the video and a couple of short squeeze plays, so I'll try and speed this up a little bit. But AMC is actually holding its own. It did wick beneath $3, probably scaring a little bit of people, but the volume is still extremely low. It's still barcoding, and it didn't break all-time lows down to around 240. So as of right now, we will still continue to just monitor this. Now, Ethereum fell 37% in just 60 hours after these trade war headlines. This brings up a very, very important point. XRP also crumbled down and cracked a few support levels like they were nothing, not even existing, but it did hold this level at about 177. So all of our levels that we have drawn out are perfectly drawn out to a T. You can look at previous videos, the charts line up perfectly. If XRP closes above 255 today, 256, that will be bullish for XRP closing back above this trend line. But as of right now, it did crack, making lower lows 3 times now, and it's just something to monitor alongside the question if we are still in a bull market, which leads me into Ethereum. I found something very, very interesting and intriguing with Ethereum, and it's this bull cycle period that we are in. Right now, we're on the logarithmic scale over on Ethereum, and you can see that from this bottom to the peak, it took Ethereum about 406 days to finish its bull rally, and then you had this key zone coming into a double bottom. So a bottom here and then a bottom here on Ethereum, which took about 462 days. Then you come into the next bull cycle, took about a 427-day window. So okay, so these are about the same right here, and then you come into these blue zones right here, these key zones that bring it down or consolidate it, however you want to look at it, and you come into the next part of the cycle, which is matching these up, and you see a low bottom paired with a low bottom that took, in my opinion, between 460 and 490 days, depending on which bottom you want to look at. Okay, put very simply, we have now entered Ethereum's bull cycle, and I'll explain to you what's going on. So these diminishing returns are extremely, extremely diminishing. Coming into the cycle that we're in now, Ethereum has only seen about 165% gain, but originally it's seen a 23,000% gain, then a 4,000% gain, which is very, 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 very low compared to the first one, and then now very, very low compared to the first one, and it could potentially be over. I don't want to burst your bubble, but we have been 420 days in. Okay, 420 days in. This is very important because now this is playing identically to one of these blue macro cycles that we have drawn out, indicating that the bull market is likely finished on Ethereum. These are the last two overlaid patterns of the blue cycles. So we're either seeing something like this, where Ethereum could test and break into all-time high, perfectly fine, or retest it, whatever. Or you see the other blue cycle that we have drawn out, something like this, where Ethereum just continues to sell off, right? And we go into a market crash. Either way, similarities are not something to just disregard, which is just a warning across the board for alts as well. Bitcoin got a massive sell-off, rejected off 100K several times. Dogecoin, okay, if we reject off of 29 cents, this is also a key indication, in my opinion, that memes may be done for a little while. That doesn't have to be the case. I also brought up Bonk in the video the other day. Bonk actually, I think, bottomed out. I will say I think Bonk bottomed out. There's nothing to say for certain that happened. Okay, I also want to let you know, during the 2021 bull market, bull cycle, Dogecoin also got a massive drop down to these levels, so it's not something new. But again, the drop down to these levels was after we hit that all-time high. Okay, we did come down very briefly back here after getting a mini high, but Dogecoin is not wicking straight down. It just consolidated down, making lower lows. Who knows, right? Either A, the difference here is that this bull market across the board is going to be a lot larger than the others, or it's probably done. And the likelihood of it being a lot larger, I mean, it comes out to the question, once again, where is the liquidity? Moving on, Canada's largest province, Ontario, cancels $100 million Starlink contract in response to US tariffs, which lead us into Tesla. Tesla's getting an absolute bloodbath, but it did hold 375. Levels to watch are gap fill up to about 400 or 401, and then a potential sell-off to 350, 450. Speaking of Tesla and Elon Musk says he's working to shut down the US Foreign Aid Agency. US aid staffers told by Trump administration to stay out of the headquarters today as shutdown seems imminent. On top of that, Elon Musk says, in quotes, tax regulations need a massive reset. They are torturing the American people. Moving on, I want you to keep an eye on IONQ up 3%, sitting at a 14% short interest, as well as OKLO up 6.5%, setting at a 22.4% short interest, leading us into Apple. Apple is bleeding, absolutely getting smoked. I think a lot of the economic news is overall just bad for Apple, especially if China retaliates, and it broke under key support levels. There's no telling where Apple's going to stop from here. We are just looking for some sort of bullish catalyst to stop the bleeding on Apple. Otherwise, we can come down to 221.60 very quick. Nvidia also a bloodbath, trying to consolidate between 117 while trying to recapture it. 115 and 117. Ultimately, we've been talking about Nvidia and calling it out. Either we get a massive bullish reversal that immediately needs to close above 132.50 over this week, or Nvidia comes down to my price target, first of all between 109 and 111, which it got very close to, but ultimately $91, 91 and 96 bucks. We have major earnings this week, which we talked about, but I want to talk about Palantir and PayPal because these are the two that I entered today. I actually believe that they may just play in the opposite direction that I bet, because earnings sometimes tend to have a curse. These are absolutely YOLO trades. They could also trade flat, but they could have major moves. Palantir could announce more securing of government contracts, especially under the Trump administration, but that could wait until Q2 to come out, in my opinion. And also Max Payne is down to about $75, I believe, and I am in puts on Palantir. Very risky. Okay, I gave the levels to Discord. If you want to talk in there, the link is in the description of the video. PayPal can either come up to 101 or down to 82 or even lower, in my opinion, and I am also betting lower on this play as well. So if you want to follow my trades, I drop them in Discord as soon as I take them, so get in here, guys. We also talk stocks and crypto with the most amazing people, and if you come and you take a look at Discord, we actually have a lot of benefits, including this high success trade flow, these breakout alerts, these option sweep alerts, insider trade alerts, dark pool activity, market news, analyst grades, and more. So come talk stocks and crypto out with us in here, guys. It's time to level yourself up. Do not sleep on it. It's the top link in the description, and I will pin it in the comments for you guys. On top of that, the link beneath Discord is for a free broker, where if you sign up through my link and deposit into your account, you're going to start earning 30 free stocks from them, as well as get access to level 2 order book data for free, trading options, going long, going short, viewing other exchanges as a retail trader, and more. So do not sleep on it. Check the top 2 links in the description of the video. And if you're not subscribed yet, what are we doing? I mean, we're sitting at 31,000 subscribers, 40+% people don't subscribe. We could be well above 50K subs. So where are the subscribers at? That is it, guys. I love you all. God bless. Lottery Socks out.